Okay, continuing off, because it's the same, it's the din kids in the same siman. We're talking yesterday a little about medical stuff. So now the din is like this. It's a very practical. I mean, it happens more often than it should be happening. That's for sure. Okay, a woman is pregnant, but now there's a possible danger if she carries the pregnancy full term, her life will be endangered. We're talking not yet mental, we're talking about physical danger. There's many times it's a difficult pregnancy and it could be the mother's life is in danger. So the din is as follows. As long as the kid is not born yet, as long as the child is not born yet, so halachically you have to kill the child and save the mother. Because in other words, you have to abort the fetus in order to save the mother. The reason for that is because there's something called a rodef. A rodef means, the Torah, but it's brought down in more details in halacha. A rodef means I see A running to kill B. And the only way I could stop A from killing B is by killing A. You know, if I could shoot him in the leg, then I'm not allowed to kill him. But what happens if the only way I can stop A from killing B is by killing A? So the din is, you have to do it. It's a mitzvah to do it in the Torah. So you have to kill the Reidif because his life, he's doing an act of murder. So therefore Torah says, you have to stop the other guy from getting killed. Huh? The pursuer. In Hebrew it's called Reidif. Now, when a woman is pregnant and the fetus is posing a danger to the mother's life, so then this kid is called a rodef. This kid is endangering the mother. It's not the mother endangering the kid. This fetus is endangering the mother. So then, if the only way of saving the mother is by aborting the fetus, which again, it has to be really carefully, examined and all that stuff. Like we said the other week, the case when the mother had a bunch of cesareans and she still got pregnant, and the doctor said her uterine wall plots open from the pregnancy, and so in those cases where the mother's life is in danger, so then the halacha is you abort the fetus. Okay, but that doesn't mean what. We discussed it yesterday.
I know. Just real quick, you have to or you're allowed to?
You have to.
The mother doesn't have a say?
No. Again, contrary to the Supreme Court, Roe versus Wade, and the overturn of Roe versus Wade and all that stuff, a person has no control, according to halacha, over their body. It's not our body. Our body is loaned to us by Hashem, and we have to give it back in the better position than the way we got it. So you can't say, it's my body, I could do with it whatever I want, it's my decision, so therefore if I want to commit suicide, nobody can tell me what to do because it's my body and I can do whatever I want.
If you want to give it back 40 days?
1 minute. What?
If you want to give it back better than received it, you have to kill yourself in your prime time, so you return it back in good condition.
True. It's a good idea.
Are you in your prime yet?
There's an expression in the Gemara, Rashi brings it down in Parshas, at the end of Balak, when Pinchas came to Moshe and said, hey, why don't you do something with Pinchas? You taught us that you can kill him. So Moshe Rabbeinu said, Kraina di Garta Levi Pidavanka. It's a Gemara in Bava Metzia. He said the one that reads the letter, meaning the one that comes up with the idea, should follow the instructions of the letter. So it's a good idea. Anyway, coming back to this point. So therefore, a person, it's not up to the mother's decision to say, I'll save the baby instead of me. If the mother's life is in danger, this child has a din of a reidif, and therefore he has the din of a reidif, then the din is you have to abort the child. Now, there is a difference halachically, not according to all opinions, but there is a difference halachically if it's before 40 days of conception, 40 days from conception, or it's after 40 days. Before 40 days, the baby doesn't have, there's not the tzuras of Vlad, it's not a form yet, it's nothing. And because of that, not that you're allowed to, God forbid, life begins according to Torah from conception. But if somebody has to do an abortion, it's definitely preferable to do an abortion before 40 days from conception, if possible. But if, let's say, the mother's life is not in danger, and she got pregnant, even weird cases, God forbid it was a rape, a woman got pregnant, and, she doesn't want to carry the baby. So halachically, you can't kill the child, because unless if it's posing a risk to the mother's life. Now, what happens if there's a very powerful mental state? That has to be extremely complex, halachic discussions with the doctors and psychiatrists, and it's a real complicated, it's not so easy. If there's a physical danger, that's the clear-cut halacha. But if it's a mental danger, a woman got pregnant, she didn't want to get pregnant, and so that doesn't mean you could do an abortion.
With all this thing in Israel, then for sure they could do an abortion.
With what?
Any of the women that got raped in October 7th, doesn't show.
I'm not saying they could.
You don't think they could?
Halachic? The halachic answer is no. Are there exceptions to the rule? The answer maybe. Somebody asks you a question, are you allowed to eat on Yom Kippur? The answer is no. Are there millions of exceptions? Yeah. The answer is, God forbid a woman is raped and she got pregnant, can you do an abortion? The answer is no. Unless if the mother's life is in danger. Okay? That's the halacha. If you have to do it, then it's better halachically to do it before 40 days, because then it's not so much the tzuras of Vlad.
The person is not suicidal, just disgusted by how this child is conceived.
And it's going to really hurt her mentally.
She's not going to kill herself, but she's going to experience something.
So again,
It's like
that every individual case has to be heavily weighed by therapists, psychiatrists, doctors, competent rabbonim.
unless she's suicidal, she has to keep it.
Generally speaking, the woman has to keep the baby. Again, are there exceptions to it? That is an exceptional case that has to be dealt with on a one-to-one basis with a very big, competent Rav, and with therapists and doctors, and there's definitely going to be a lot of discussions between all the, what?
Could you give the child up for adoption?
Yeah, halachically,
So Goisha, not like a Yiddish.
to give a Jewish kid up for adoption, no.
And she's not going to hold, she's going to...
So give it to a Jew. There's plenty of Jewish couples that want to adopt babies. Why should they give it to a guy? You can't give it, the kid's Jewish. You can't give it to... and then there's a lot of other issues. I'm just bringing up points. I'm not... again, every case is an exceptional case that needs to be... What happens many times, a woman is pregnant, and then in the middle of pregnancy, she finds out that the kid, God forbid, is Downs or other terrible illnesses. So now the kid's going to be born. It's not going to be born a healthy child. So there's going to be a lot of difficulties, medical and this and that. And these are all issues that have to be dealt with, really complicated, because you're talking about life and death over here. So it has to be dealt with very big, competent rabbonim and doctors and therapists and a lot of issues to be weighed, really. And sometimes, under certain circumstances, I know we had this many times, that there's certain issues internally in utero, and there's certain experts in this field of high-risk pregnancies, mamish from guys, very qualified, world famous, and I've discussed many times issues with him about, but over there it's talking about a person that the fetus won't have any chance of living anyway. There's different stories if the kid will live, but it will be sick, versus the kid's not going to come out alive. You know, there was a story here in the city not long ago. Not exactly, yeah, they call it in the city, that a woman was carrying twins, and one kid was posing a risk to the other in utero. And it was a discussion. I wasn't directly involved in it, but there was a discussion with big Rabbonim in Eretz Yisrael and doctors from doctors in Eretz Yisrael that deal with this stuff. And what happened at the end, believe it or not, it was a miracle with the Rebbe with checking the mezuzah. They found the psul in the mezuzah. And the whole shalof there, can you kill one kid to save the other?
Wow.
And anyway, by the time everything happened, Baruch Hashem, both kids were born healthy. It was mamish a miracle. The guy had a story with the Rebbe, he got an answer, someone checked the mezuzah, there was a word they're missing, whatever. It was an unbelievable miracle, but it was a big issue that came up. In fact, there was a conference of this one big doctor in Eretz Yisrael, very frum, wrote a lot of svarim in halacha and medicine. He started talking about this case, and I happen to know the case that he was talking about. But it was a case here in the city. He was talking about it. Does the other baby have a din of a roidef? Is it not a roidef? Is it a roidef? The various things. But the end result was, Baruch Hashem, that both kids were born healthy. They're healthy twins. It's already a while ago already. Baruch Hashem, they're healthy kids. But all this is not. Then there's another issue. That what happens? Let's say you paskin that they need to do an abortion. Okay. Oh, so the din is like this. Let me finish the din first. So first of all, so if it's the fetus versus the mother until the baby's born, you kill the fetus to save the mother. Second, the baby's born, they're equal. They're equal. Which means equal, then you save the one that has a better chance of living. It depends. It's also not the men, women. Who do you save first? There's a lot of halachic issues with that.
What's considered born?
Born means the head comes out. According to halacha, the baby is born when the head comes out, even before the rest of the body comes out. That's relevant to which day a kid's born. Is it which day is the bris? Which day? It could be. It makes big halachic differences. According to halacha, when the baby's head comes out, is born. What?
How come when the parents stuck out his hand, the midwife said this came out first?
That was before Matan Torah. No, it's a good point, but it was before Matan Torah, so the dinim didn't apply the same way.
Why did the law change after Matan Torah?
A lot of laws changed after Matan Torah.
How do we know that the law became this?
Because obviously that's what halacha says now, is when the head comes out. When the head comes out.
If there was a precedence for it,
But it's before Matan Torah. The Rambam says this is what we do bris milah today. It's not because Avraham Avinu did a bris milah, because Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu Parshas Tazria, "Vayem Hashmini yimo b'sar lasa." Ein lemeidim mikayim Matan Torah. There's a lot of dinim that happen before Matan Torah we don't learn from.
so it's a Kabbalah after Matan Torah.
After Matan Torah, that the definition of birth is when the head comes out. It's halacha mishum, yeah, like everything else. So that's what once the baby is born, then they're equals. Not anymore. He doesn't have a din of a rodef anymore because he's alive and she's alive. So it's a whole separate din. Now I want to say one more din about this. I know what I want to say. So now, who does the abortion? Should a Jewish doctor do the abortion, or should a Goyish doctor do the abortion? So let's say, for argument's sake, they're both equal, doctor-wise. They're both good doctors, they can both do the abortion with minimal risk to the mother. So now who does it? Does a guy? So many opinions, in fact, I think most opinions hold that a Jewish doctor should do it. Why? Because it's worse for a guy to do an abortion than for a Jew to do an abortion. Because the din is, the din is that by a Jew, a baby under 30 days old does not have a din of a living being yet. In other words, because it's a suffix chai. So Moshe Rabbeinu by Har Sinai, there was a shiur, a mount, that a baby, the mashal, if somebody, God forbid, murders a 20-day-old baby, you're not allowed to, it's murder, but you don't get killed. You don't get killed for murder, because the baby's not a 30-day-old baby. If you kill him on the 31st day, then you would get murder. It's a full-fledged human being. By Goyim, there's no amount. So all shiurim, all amounts that the Torah gave, applies only to Jews, not to Goyim. So therefore, for a Goy to do an abortion is real murder. In other words, according when Bais Din was powerful, if a guy did an abortion, Bais Din would kill him for murder. Because it's a living being. This, that a baby has to be 30 days old in order to get capital punishment, that's halacha mishum Sinai, amounts given to Moshe Rabbeinu, which are only given to Jews and not goyim. So therefore, if a guy does a murder of a 20-day-old baby, the guy would get killed.
But he's still a rape.
What?
He's still a rape.
No, I'm talking not, right. So you're allowed to do the abortion. But for who is it less evil for? For 1 second, for a Jew, it's less evil than it is for the guy, because the Jew wouldn't get killed for such a crime, and the guy would get killed. So if the crime is worse for the guy than it is for a Jew. So many poskim hold the Jewish doctor should do it, and there are other poskim that say no, guy should doctor should do it.
Do we have the mitzvah of Hashim Lahadri, of a raven?
Somebody has to be killed.
No. If someone is
He doesn't have a din Ashkem Ha'orger.
pursuing someone else,
No, he doesn't. But I'm just saying,
why not?
because that mitzvah wasn't given to the guy.
A good doesn't have a mitzvah to protect someone else's life?
No.
Who cares?
No, he doesn't. Machachin is an amazing man, Kim Shiva Gal Teru, and Gashim Milat Baruch Zak Sol.